It's such a good feeling.
It sounds like a 70s, 80s song.
It is. Bow, 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 no, 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 bow, 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 bow.
I should know that song, but I don't.
Anyways, yo. Christopher.
Football is back.
Can you believe it?
I'm so happy.
We've made it officially. You know what that means for the pod, right? Do you know what that means for the pod? We have officially made it to season 2, dude. You're right.
We had our birthday.
You're so smart and pretty and handsome and brave. You know everything. You're so smart.
Oh, no.
That's what I sound like.
Come on, you sound great, guys.
You sound positive for once.
This is our second year.
In my lifetime. Dude, season 2, episode 1, dude. We made it. We made it. And my mother said I was never going to be anything. And here I am embargoing your podcast ears.
Mama, we made it.
Yeah, we survived.
Season 2.
I know. Which means, can you believe it? Football's like here. It's here. Games have been played. People have been cut. Dreams have been made.
Fights are happening.
We're doing it.
Every play is the biggest play ever made by any player. You're seeing big swings. From
Everybody's Jalen Mills.
the net with Caleb Williams.
This is so close to me.
The next day, he's perfect. Drake May.
I feel like they're hating on Caleb Williams a little bit too much.
Of course they are. He's
Like
the number
big
one
time.
pick, Dons.
I know.
I'm the biggest Caleb Williams supporter, so you're talking to the wrong guy.
What do you mean you're talking to the wrong guy? Oh, my bad.
Well, I mean, everybody's criticizing him, but I think this is his second offensive coordinator. Yes, he has the savior, or hopefully he can be, Ben Johnson.
The savior. Like, what has this guy done? Like, I get being optimistic and excited over having a new head coach and all this stuff, but tell me what Ben Johnson has done in order to make him the savior, because I don't know. I'm not even challenging you on it, and it's you see it all over the internet all off season. It's like the hot commodity before the season ended. Like, you gotta get Ben Johnson. You gotta get Ben Johnson, and I get it. Detroit obviously turned it around and are a great team now, which is like night and day switch, because they were like 1-16, whatever the year before that or something, or 3 whatever the hell it is.
Dan Campbell.
I'm bad with math, as you can tell.
So 2 years ago, Ben Johnson was rumored to get or to interview at some jobs. He decided to turn them down. He said, I'm going to go back and coach another season with the Lions. If they didn't have all those injuries, I'm not saying they beat the Eagles, but they would probably have had the game in their building. That always gives you an advantage. I still take the Birds, of course, but my point being, Ben Johnson's been a hot commodity for 18, 24 months now. So, no, he's not going to be the savior. Caleb obviously is the one on the field, but if Caleb can pick up the system, and you saw what the Lions did last year with Jared Goff, who, when he came to Detroit, it was sort of his... I mean, he felt like he's talked about it on the quarterback series where he kind of felt like the Rams threw him away. There was no conversation. They just traded him.
Yeah, but that's that bell of the ball type shit. Like, he's been the bell of the ball his entire life. And for the first time ever, they're like, get away from me. I hate you.
Get rid of him.
I never want to see you again. Now, Sean McVay, I never want to see you again.
Dons, you would know this better than anybody being a closeted Patriots fan, okay?
Closeted man.
13-3, Rams, Patriots.
Yeah.
Jared Goff and that Rams offense did not know what to do against Bill Belichick and the defense.
Yeah, but to be fair to Jared Goff, tell me which young quarterback could do anything to a Bill Belichick defense.
Well, Goff wasn't really young at that point. I guess he'd been in the league
he
for about
was
4 or 5 years, but it was the whole, like, their offense that year was prolific. They couldn't be stopped, moving the ball on everybody. And then in the Super Bowl, Bill just dialed it up.
Yeah, but the Patriots defense was so good that year, though. They were top-notch defense.
There's a clip of Sean McVay.
It's a big deal, you know?
100%. Their defense was phenomenal. And they had a great defensive coach, probably the best. There's a clip of Sean McVay going up to Bill before the game, before the Super Bowl, and he is just glowing. He can't wait to meet him. All he is so complimentary, and you can just tell he's really nervous. And I feel like at that point, Bill like turned around and walked back to the sideline like, we got these.
Yeah. No, Sean.
You could just
But
tell.
probably, honestly.
And McVay talked about it obviously afterwards. Once the wound had healed a bit, it'd probably been a year or so. But he talked about, that's something. Of course, you want to give credit to one of the greatest coaches, but
Yeah.
he felt like maybe he went too far. Anyway,
Who went too far?
maybe just pregame, like being so like
Aggressive?
complimentary to Bill before.
Oh, Sean McVay went
Before
too
the
far.
Super Bowl?
Yeah. Trying to like analyze what went wrong, whatever.
Hey, they did win the Super Bowl. It might have been wasn't the next year, but hey, they got rid of Goff.
Yeah.
They make the trade for Stafford. They win the Super Bowl.
I mean, it was
so,
the right call for them. It was the right call for them.
Yeah, and Goff hasn't done so bad himself.
No. So it's kind of a win-win situation.
We're already back in the flow. This feels like week 8, doesn't it, Dons? I mean, this is preseason.
It is preseason.
Preseason or not,
Preseason.
Dons, I
Yeah.
can feel it in my bones. Football is back.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait for the season to start, like the actual regular season, to know who your 53 is, to see, us about to get the rings and ceremonies against Dallas and the green, what's the words I'm looking for? The green fireworks shooting off the link.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, say, can you see?
I cannot wait.
By the dawn's early light, baby, we got some football around the corner.
It's that time of year. Yeah,
I have a problem.
We've got, fantasy football prepping, player profiling, draft pick evaluating, premature capitulation on players taken too early or too late.
Yeah, capitulation. What he said, capitulation. What the hell you say? Capitulation?
Capitulation.
What the hell is that?
Come on, you're the educated one.
Tell the viewers.
It's basically, you have a point, and then you kind of like, well, maybe I was wrong on that, and then you kind of give excuses or reasons why you weren't right.
A flip-flopping ass mother. What you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I'll probably no. Maybe we've been going 10 minutes already. You think?
No, probably like 7, 8.
Damn, I have to cut it out. But anyways,
No, we don't have to cut anything out.
yes, we do. For YouTube purposes, we're trying to get our algorithm going. Push it. Push it real good. I keep hitting my head on this thing because I put the mic stand too close to my face. So I'm like, Argh!
Oh, you got your nice hat on. I love
Violence in the workplace, dude. I love your hat. What a coincidence.
Ooh, Super Bowl champion.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of wishing you had your Eagles glasses on, the big
do.
Tim Dillon style ones. Oh, those are Eagles ones.
These are Eagles, yeah. See?
Oh, that's pretty sick. Yeah, I do see it.
Those are like snowboarding glasses. They're really bright. They are green though. You're right.
Those are sick.
Next episode, I'll wear
Those
those.
are sick, dude.
You
I
know
love
why
those.
I got these on, Dons?
Why?
The sun's really been getting to me. I feel
No.
like I'm feeling really like tanner. Like.
Well, that's not a problem, bro, because we need to get Tanner. We need more Tanner in our lives. Tanner McGee.
Oh my God. Where did
I
we begin
know.
with this guy?
Bro, Tanner McKee is a beast. He is a beast. So, everybody, before we go off on Tanner McKee, I want to do it one more time.
And action.
In action, bro. Oh, welcome everybody to the 1 of 32 podcast. I am your host, Don, sitting here with your other host, KP. Say what up. Everybody's excited to hear what you have to say this week.
Football is back.
I can't believe it, bro. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Listen to those vocals.
Oh,
Keep going.
I am excited, bro. Preseason week 1, Eagles versus Bengals. All year long, we're talking about how Jalen Hurts isn't Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow can't even get a dub in the preseason against our boys. And Jalen didn't even have to play. So let's get right into this preseason week 1 game. And you kind of tell me, how'd you feel about the preseason game overall, and we'll kind of start from there and we'll get it rolling.
Well, preseason overall, Dons, I want to go back. Let's go back a couple years, maybe 5-6 years now. Sean McVay, the whiz kid, the Rams coach, notoriously is the one who's to blame for all these starters not playing, or at least up until this year.
Why? Why do you say that?
Sean McVay started a trend of, you know what? I'm not going to play my starters in the preseason. Why give them another reason to get hurt, another chance to get hurt, more snaps, more plays?
Really?
and he stopped playing his starters in the preseason. All of a sudden, he started winning. They go to the Super Bowl, they win, and all of a sudden, it's a copycat league. We know that, Dons.
Yeah.
And all the other teams now start
that's
doing
true.
that, where you don't see starters play as often or even at all during the preseason, especially with the adding of the 17th and eventually 18th games.
How do you even
preseason?
How do you even remember something like that, dude? You're like a vault, bro.
Sean
You have all
McVay.
this knowledge. You're like, 1996, Don's was still fat.
It's true. No, you were not. You were super muscular. You were probably benching like 250
I was so
at that point.
fat, dude. I would literally look like 3 bowling balls stacked on top of each other. Anyway.
My point was that this season you started to see it,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Bengals. You're starting to see a lot more starters being played in the preseason. It seems like the things
Yeah,
are
if you're
swinging.
a loser.
I watched the Patriots.
No,
and
you're
Drake
right.
May the other night. He played, I want to say, 3 or 4 drives. He had a turnover, but then he drove his team down the field. And on a good note, it was good to see the starters play because the last, 7 years, Sean McVay sort of started that trend of we don't need to play these guys in the preseason. Let's preserve them. What about you, Dons? Are you a preseason guy? Can you watch it more than a quarter? Do you care?
Yeah, dude, I do like the preseason. Like, honestly, I've even this game, I found it super entertaining, and I like the format now more than ever with the 3 weeks. I think it's way better than having the 4. But as far as the preseason itself, like, I still think it's valuable because you're literally out here letting people have tape and film to put on out there for scouts, for other teams to pick you up, for second, third year players that are finally getting a little bit of playing time to prove that, like, hey, I do belong on this roster. I'm not going to get replaced by some dude you just drafted. I'm not letting it happen. You give those people an opportunity to play. And not only just that, you also have to think of, like, why cold start your fans? Talk about the preseason. Let's get it going. Nah, we want regular season 1. We want week 1. All this is a waste of time, week 1. But what are you doing for 3 or 4 weeks straight? All you're doing is talking about the NFL. And then week 1 comes and everybody's just ready to, like, lose their mind. That is, I think, one of the smartest thing that the NFL has going for them. I know that they're looking into cutting the preseason and making it longer, but I actually like seeing the young bucks play. I can usually watch, and I gotta be honest, I'm not like, I can't lie to you here and say I watch all 4 quarters all the times, but with like 10 to 8 minutes left in the third quarter, like, I usually can give you enough attention until we got 8 minutes left in the third quarter before I click it off.
Dons, the other thing about preseason is growing up in New England, we would always hear rumblings about Bill Belichick routinely using the month of September as an extension of the preseason. Evaluating players in position battles, finding out who's been watching film and improving their game, or simply finding out how the players will adjust to the adversity of going up against somebody other than your own team. So, especially now with 17 and 18 games, I guess the thought was, well, you don't need to really play your players in the preseason because the good teams are just using weeks 1 through 3, sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 1 through 4 is like all right, let's kind of get our footing, figure out who we are, who we want to be. I mean,
I'm glad you brought this up.
let's just go back to last year, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought
Eagles
this
start
up.
2-2, go into the bye. The big meeting happens with the linemen where we kind of sit down with the coach and say, hey, we understand we have a lot of good weapons. AJ, Devontae, Hurts just got paid, but what's our strength? The big boys up front running the rock, and the rest is history, Dons.
So I'm glad that you brought up, resting players and all this other stuff. And it's something that I've been hearing a lot online. It's football players need to practice. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you just cold start and go, 90% of people aren't going to be able to reach their full potential. So if you're not out there practicing, you're going to, the old adage of saying you play how you practice. Most people are like that. Now, are there exceptions to this rule? Sure. Like Saquon Barkley, does he need to be out there during, joint practices running as hard as he can. No, he doesn't need that. But a guy like, maybe A.J. Brown, where you have to depend on Jalen Hurts having the right timing for you and making sure you're on the same page. It's not just about your talent. And yeah, A.J. maybe doesn't have to push as hard, and maybe that's a terrible example. But people need to practice. So I'm tired of hearing like, oh, preserve them. Because I think that's going to make us a worse football team in the long run, and it'll actually hurt our team because it's going to take us too long to get revved up and get going. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that? About people being completely okay with them not practicing and playing? Like, it's not basketball,
It's the old rest versus rust. For example, at the end of a lot of seasons, you'll see teams who have already clinched the division or clinched the number 1 seed or two, and it's the old, well, are we going to play our players the whole game? Are we going to play them half a game?
Yeah.
Should we not play them at all? We have nothing to play for. Routinely, you see teams not even play. I think Carson Wentz got another opportunity last year, and that was part of the reason, I think. So when you have teams that believe, you know what, let's give them a rest. I don't want them taking more reps. You have, I guess, confidence in your players and the rhythm, and they must be practicing really well. Things must be going smooth. But to me, I think Ben Johnson said it best. He said nothing is comparable to live bullets. Like being out there, facing against the speed.
And that's my whole point. Yeah, that's my whole point.
Yeah, you don't. So especially for me on defense.
I think.
Especially on defense, Downs. You need guys to be getting reps, tackling people, feeling, an offensive lineman coming downhill trying to run you over, or just simply concepts, reading what the offense is trying to do, being reactionary. So I'm with you on the preseason, but if you ask me, I could actually do without it.
Yeah, you don't like the preseason?
Well, I just think with 18-game regular season coming soon, as early as 2027, 2028, like it's going to be here soon.
Yeah.
And that means the bargaining chip, the negotiating table, something has to give. So it most likely will be another preseason. Maybe it won't be.
Which I'm cool with. I'm cool with it being 2 games.
That's what I mean.
But also, again, I like seeing those young buck plays. I like the unknown of preseason because every now and then you do get a gem out of that. And, people don't always practice the way that they play. Jalen Hurts, he's known to be more of a gamer than looking beautiful and perfect in practice. And he won a Super Bowl, So I hear you. The thing that I do like about our preseason, and you say, people are playing their starters more. It's kind of like when people bob, we weave. And when people weave, we bob. Like, we don't play all of our starters, especially our stars that are solidified starters in the preseason. It's mostly people that are on the fence or cusp of potentially losing their jobs or being a number 2 or number 3 rotational player. But we also... Wait, I just lost it. I don't even remember what we were talking about. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Oh, I remember now. Okay. But instead of that, the Eagles are valuing joint practices with other teams more. And I don't know if that's like a lame, cheesy thing to say because almost every team has joint practices, but I can't speak for them because I'm not in tune with them. I don't pay attention enough for any of that stuff. The only thing I've seen from another camp was Mike Vrabel getting into a fight with whoever the hell they're scrimmaging, the Washington Commanders, and he was in the bottom of a scrum pile. That's the only thing I know from another team. But as far as the Eagles, and I get it. Listen, you go in, you just said Drake May played 2, 3, 4 drives, whatever. Well, in a controlled practice, you can go balls out and get 4 or 5 times the actual work in and get way more productive results against your ones going versus their ones instead of just, okay, let's go through the rhythm of just the game, which is also important. You know what I mean? You need to know where you guys run to warm up. You need to know what drills you guys do to heat up as a unit. I get it. You need to get that repetition just so you know what the marching orders are, and that helps. I don't think you need 3 or 4 games for that. But the Eagles really value these joint practices, and so far, I mean, we lost the Super Bowl, lost in the first round, and won a Super Bowl. It kind of seems like these joint practices are working. Do you like the joint practices?
Love it. I love going on Twitter, Dons, and I see a video pop up. What is it? It's Drake May with a 70-yard touchdown down the sideline to Travion Henderson against the Vikings today, and I get all kinds of amped up. So, yes, the teams are definitely utilizing and using this time as more or less, this is the closest thing we're going to get to live bullets for these starters. So let's get after it.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but it almost feels like we're ahead of the curve when it comes to the next new thing that's kind of going to get your team going and get that little extra advantage. It almost feels very Belichickian, where it's like when the whole league is going left, dude, we turn right. I know I said that already, but I just can't stress the job that the Eagles organization is doing of like trying to not just live in the success of today and actually continue to process, improve, lean Six Sigma in this bitch.
I'll tell you one thing specifically for this year in this Eagles team, Dons. We have a lot of position battles going on this year in the defense.
We do.
Defensive end, fourth defensive tackle, second corner, safety. So this is a preseason that's actually important when it comes to who's going to be starting week 1 versus the Cowboys.
And, you know, you say that, and we have a battle right here in our own home, and who knows how many people we're going to keep, but our wide receiver 4 is completely wide open. Right now we have Johnny Wilson. For some reason, the Eagles love Aeneas Smith, and now, through great play in the preseason, Darius Cooper is now in the mix. And these are all guys that, if you ask me, Aeneas Smith, not a huge fan. Even on the touchdowns during the preseason games, like, guy was wide open, very basic coverage. He's not that fast. He's not that strong. He's not that tall. He doesn't jump that high. He just looks very... And I'm sorry for all the shade. I hope I'm wrong. And he had a great punt return. He did. You don't always have to be the fastest, but
He's got wheels.
You've been in the league long enough. I just don't feel like you're it for us.
So you feel like he's the odd man out, Dons, in the wide receiver 4 battle?
The reason why I think no is because I think the organization, for some reason, is in love with him. Same way that they're in love with Johnny Wilson. But
Johnny's still young, too.
Yeah, of course, and so is Aeneas Smith. But what I see in Darius Cooper is everything that they wish Aeneas Smith is. Cooper runs his routes and gets open. Now, he's not doing it against the best talent. Aeneas Smith has had a track record of being able to do something on a football field during regular season games. I do acknowledge that. But if you look into Darius Cooper, the guy's been an absolute baller. He set records in his freaking college league. I don't know. I'm not a college guy. He's set a whole bunch of receiving records for his school. He, in the game, got so wide open so many times on his cut on a dime, bro. Just boom, like a blade of grass. Your boy was out of there. Lawnmower the hell out of these cornerbacks. I like to see that. We need a receiver along with Smitty that can sit in a freaking zone and find the soft spot. AJ's not that. Not that he can't do it, but that's not what he does. Jahan Dotson, that's not really what he does. They win from elite talent. Smitty with somebody else like that, I'm kind of interested.
I think he's going to have to keep it up, Dons, and be consistent. When you're in the position he's in, you really have very little room for error, especially because Aeneas Smith is a guy, as you said, who's already proven himself. So he already knows he's behind the 8 ball. He's not top of the depth chart in regards to who should get this job or who is.
I think he thinks he is, though. It's almost like a Jalen Reagor situation where Jalen thought he was like top priority. I feel like Aeneas Smith feels like that. No, maybe I'm just hating on poor Aeneas Smith for no reason.
Well, anytime I hear Jalen Reagor, I just immediately go to, oh man, we could have had Justin.
Yeah, but we probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, though. Yeah, I've been thinking about that lately, too.
Or maybe we just win the Super Bowl with Justin
Jefferson. We win the Super Bowl even harder.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe we just win anyway.
We'll win even harder, baby, yeah.
My last point on preseason, very brief. Will there be a time, Dons, where we actually look back and remember the excitement on an August evening of just sitting down to watch a preseason game, just itching to get your fix of football back after 6 to 8 months off? 50% of the players playing won't be on NFL rosters, probably working in insurance or with us. So cherish the preseason, Dons, while it's here, because just like Tom Brady, when it's gone, you'll wish you had it back.
Yeah, I hope they don't get rid of it. I do think it's important. Anyway,
Amen.
let's talk about, speaking of preseason,
Go Birds.
let's talk about the Birds. Eagles played the Bengals on Thursday. Eagles get a dub, 34-27 over the Bengals. Of course, no surprise. I will say the game was very exciting. Joe Burrow diced up our defense, going 9 for 10 for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Looked fantastic and phenomenal. Jamar Chase, 4 catches. I think he went like 4 for 5 or 4 for 4 for 77 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, he broke that long run.
Elite.
But that's really it. I mean, they had another receiver, a tight end, do pretty decent, but we're not a Bengals podcast, so
No.
shut up.
Don't worry about the Bungles.
But the Eagles, and I know you were excited about this. You're probably antennas tingling from the little bet that we made. Your boy Will Shipley, I gotta say, he ran with some great vision. Went 7 carries for 48 yards, no touchdowns, because he loves getting caught from behind. And I will note, my boy AJ Dillon did average 5.4 yards per carry. And like I told you, the guy moves, but he moves in slow motion, but he's moving. He's a yard gainer. He
was playing in, I think, the fourth quarter or the third quarter against
Yeah.
backups. But we'll see.
But that's
if
what he
this
always does. That's what he always does, dude.
Maybe this week they'll switch and maybe Dylan gets more
Yeah.
reps.
How'd you feel about Will Shipley's running?
Well, he had that one big run, which I think was the majority of his yards. So if I know,
He had 2 good, like, really long runs, yeah.
I guess my point being is, yes, he did have 2 long runs. That's what you want to see, especially from a young running back going up against, by the way, which we totally buried the lead, Dons. The Bengals' first team defense was in the game.
Yeah.
They played their first team defense, and the Eagles moved the ball at will.
Yeah, but they're also 32 out of 32. They're also 32 out of 32.
I know. I guess I'm saying, like, our 2s beat up their 1s, Dons.
Yes,
Anyway.
they did. They did. Will Shipley's issue, I don't think it's necessarily just his speed. I mean, I don't think he's the fastest guy when it comes to reaching his top speed. I think he reaches his top speed quickly. So strong agility there. But if you notice, every time he gets caught, he's worried about the defender and he's peeking his head over his shoulder, looking to see where somebody is for the contact, which I get. You have to be aware, but you have to get better at trusting your senses as a runner and know that that guy's there, even though you're not necessarily looking at him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's weird, but that's what you got to do usually as a running back. I think if he has his head focused on that freaking goal line and he's running to the end zone and he's not worried about getting tackled, I think and I hope those are breakaway touchdowns. So I think he has it in him. I just think that he's too worried about ball security and not messing up, you know? Instead of worrying about being great.
Last season, he scored a touchdown in garbage time, and who was the first player off the bench to run from the bench to the field and greet him in the end zone, or as soon as he got off the field? Saquon Barkley.
I was going to say Doug Flutie.
I'm sure that in moments like this, after the game, in practice, Saquon is talking with him, helping him, guiding him. Hey, just helpful tips and advice from a guy who is now a vet. You can call Saquon a vet, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's been a vet for a while now.
But Shipley, I think he had a couple good runs. Yes, he had a big run, but also huge holes on that, Don. Credit to the offensive line. The big uglies never get the love, and we're going to keep giving it to him here all year long. Huge hole for Shipley to run through.
Yeah, our backup offensive line played pretty well, all things considering.
Had 10 yards on that play at least.
Maybe 7. Maybe 7.
My point being, man, it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
By the offensive line on that play. Huge.
Yeah. And, you know, obviously I buried the lead here, and we'll get into it, but we're not going to get into it yet We know you want to hear it, dude. I know you want to hear it, but I will say,
let's talk about the defense.
Let's talk a little bit about the defense before we get to the start, because if not, we're gonna spend our whole day
let's
talking
get
about
the bad news over with. Okay.
Oh, right. Keely Ringo. Where did you go when Jamar Chase caught that ball? Keely Ringo stood out for all the wrong reasons. Bad angles, bad coverage, bad tackling. Keely Ringo, what were your thoughts on his performance against the Bengals?
He got an opportunity. We have to start with the baseline, Dons, which is he's going up against maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Arguably the best.
Yep.
No doubt about it. He's also very explosive, but you mentioned on the big long touchdown run, he did overrun the play. He wasn't really aware of where he was on the field.
Overran the play tremendously.
So there's no excuses. I think Vic said it best after. He said, I'm not mad that he gave up the catch. I'm just mad that he missed the tackle.
Yeah, because that's your job in zone.
Even if you slow him down so somebody else can come and gang tackle him, that's your job. But he barely even got hands on him, Don.
But not getting that tackle, bro, means you can't depend on him. Bro. But not getting that tackle means you can't depend on him. That's the problem. And that overrun was so bad. And you know what the worst part is? It's not his instincts. His instincts are just wrong. You can't fix instincts. You can get experience and you can learn from that, but your instincts, your primal, what you do if you're not thinking, your body's just reaction, is just always freaking off, dude. Just always off. And it sucks because you're so talented and you have so much potential.
Sounds like Don's is giving up on Keely Ringo.
I just give me a reason to believe, because every time I watch you play, you give me a reason not to. The best thing I can say about Keely Ringo is that he's almost always in position when the ball is thrown. But after that, it's like chicken soup for your nut salad, bro. I don't know what happens to his brain.
The old Bradbury.
No. This stops now. This stops here, dude. Bradbury gets too much hate for Eagles fans. He was a pillar of stability with him and Slay. We literally made it to the Super Bowl with him. We had a nasty defense, and we had some bullshit-ass call that Juju Smith-Schuster claims that he didn't even run a good route, dude. That was the slowest freaking route I've ever seen in my entire life, dude.
Awful.
He's awful. Juju Smith-Schuster's awful, and he's been awful. Bradbury gets too much hate, dude. He was right there. That shouldn't have been called. It wasn't called almost all game. It was just called out of the convenience of, remember when those refs got fired because they were helping the Chiefs? Oh, yeah, wait. It was just called in the convenience of the Super Bowl and where the money lied and where they wanted it to go. They gifted him that. The Bradbury hate needs to stop. The man was a baller.
Okay, here's the other thing, Dons. We have to be honest with ourselves in our assessment.
Honest.
It's not just Keely Ringo's fault. There was 10 other guys out there with him. So
no, disagree. The coverage that they were running led for Keely Ringo to be the last line of defense from there, and then it would have to be a safety that's covering the other half of that field, if I remember correctly.
The Bengals moved the ball with ease.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just one play every drive. They went up and down the field on us.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant on that play. My bad.
No, it's all good. Yeah. Chase looked like Superman, definitely.
Yeah.
He looked like Superman against Keely Ringo.
Not even, dude. Not even. It looks so easy. Like he was barely trying. That's the thing that pisses me off.
He wasn't even in second gear. I have concerns about this defense and our ability to put pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. And that's my point.
All right. So with the pressure, you didn't have any of your starting DNs playing. You didn't have Jalen Carter, who puts the fear in quarterbacks' hearts when he's on the field. You didn't have a Jomo. You didn't have all these guys that are going to play much better. It does make a difference. You do get your play elevated when you're around that type of talent. Maybe Keely and Adoree Jackson can benefit from something like that. Yeah. So hopefully that's something that we still have yet to see and that materializes for us in the regular season. But I forgot what I was saying again.
Listen, we just made a trade last week to get a corner from the Raiders.
Yes. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah, we did. So we traded Jacorian Bennett for we got him from the Raiders for Thomas Booker, who I liked a lot as a D tackle.
Yep. Played a lot for the Eagles.
I think we're so stacked that we don't need him. So that's my thoughts on the trade. Jacorian Bennett is a 24-year-old corner on his third season. He's 5'10", weighs 200 pounds. He started in 2024, 7 out of 10 games that he played before being placed on injured reserve, going through shoulder surgery. Allowed 0 touchdowns, 18 receptions, 176 yards, 9 pass breakups in 2024. Sounds like great stats to me.
So you're telling me he played in 10 games and didn't give
Last
up a
year.
touchdown?
Yeah. Great. But then also you think about who the Raiders played, and I don't really think they played in the strongest division. So a lot of front load playing in division.
Well, they have the Chiefs, obviously. They're good. The Broncos.
Yeah, but that's one. That's one,
Bo
though.
Nix and the Broncos.
No, the Broncos weren't that by the time they first played, though. By the time they first played, they got there,
twice.
but
Division, so they play
yeah,
twice.
no, I know.
And then the Chargers and
Well, yeah,
Herbert.
you're right.
The Herb man, their defense isn't terrible. Even if their
No,
defense
you're
is
right.
bad,
That passing division is a lot better than what I was thinking. Yeah,
the Raiders' defense is
Definitely.
so bad, Dons, and they're as a team they were
Yeah.
awful last year. I don't know if I should say awful, but they weren't really a great team. But my point being is, when you're always behind, I mean,
yeah. That's
10 games played.
that's true too. I do want to say though, as far as our cornerbacks, there's somebody that everybody's forgetting about, and I know I
Who dat?
wrote this
Who
in,
dat?
but this week during practice, there's a report saying rookie Mac McWilliams has been playing well in camp. He's been mostly running with the 2s and 3s, but he's starting to get the beat writers and the scouts' attention for flashing on the field, saying that rookie Mac McWilliams kind of almost looks better than Keely and Adoree Jackson. What are the odds of you thinking that Mac McWilliams will get starting time for us on the outside? And reports saying on the also like from camp that he's predominantly playing the outside spot.
I don't think now that we made the trade between Bennett and Ringo, and I just think there's too many guys ahead of him on the depth chart, Johns.
See, I think I hear you. You're right, but I think that it's false spots, unearned spots ahead of the depth chart.
Agreed.
That number 2 spot is so unearned that I think anybody's going to be able to take it, and I wouldn't be surprised week 6, week 7. They're tired of all the inconsistencies. Cornerback number 2, maybe Mac goes in every now and then, starts flashing his plays, and then bam, week 7, you deserved it, kid. You've been playing great. You're a starter.
I'll tell you one thing, Dons. If that's the case,
He's
I'm
what our-
worried. If that's the case, I'm worried about the Eagles' record.
Why?
If we're already switching up like something that significant as CB2 in week 7,
Bro,
like,
bad
that means we're getting
cornerback
burned.
play. Bad cornerback play is bad, and our offense is strong enough to outscore another team's offense. You know, so I don't necessarily think it's that our record's that bad, but it's like you're winning games, but you know that you're flawed. You know, you're gonna play the best of the best when it gets to the Super Bowl. Chances are,
The first 4 weeks of the season are
Yeah.
not easy for the Eagles.
no.
The Cowboys are going to be throwing the ball all over the yard.
Mm-hmm.
They do not run the ball, although they're rumored to be going after a superstar running back. We'll see. Then,
Who, Nick Chubb?
no. Supposedly Brees Hall, or I forgot who the other one was, but Brees Hall is most likely going
Brees
to get
Hall,
traded.
alright.
You heard it here first. Anyway,
You think so?
the Eagles have to play the Rams, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Bucks the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It is Cowboys, then Chiefs, then Rams, then Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a hard passing
challenge.
test. Yeah, for sure. But I like our D line. All right, let me ask you this: is it an overreaction or not? Right? With what we have seen so far, the Eagles have a big problem at CB number 2. Overreaction or not reaction? Overreaction.
I won't say a big problem yet. I'll say it is a problem right now. It's like a It's like, on the concern level of 1 to 10 downs, it's a 6 for me right now.
Yeah.
I think, again, the defense is not just one person, although there are things you can do to isolate a guy.
Corners kind of,
him.
yeah.
There are ways to do that. I understand.
Yeah, and to help, for sure.
I think whether it's the scheme we're going to play, second year for most of these guys in the scheme under Vic Fangio, or just the talent that we have. We're hearing Quinyon is going to travel around the field now, as he's been doing in practice routinely. Smitty, AJ, Jalen Hurts mentioned how confident Quinyon is. So if you've got Quinyon following the number one, I mean, how many teams, Dons, realistically, have a good wide receiver too? I mean,
I think actually most teams do. Most teams do. I just don't think the NFC East does.
I don't think a lot of teams do. Obviously, you have Higgins, you have ours.
Texans, hold on. Texans, yes.
Well, who's their number 2?
They got 3 good receivers. I'm forgetting their names, but they have Nico Collins. Then they have the dude with the dreads. And then they have, what's his name, Fuller?
Will
whatever.
Not there,
no, not Will Fuller. Who is it? Watch, I'm telling you.
There's not many teams. My point being is, I think the defense
I'm
as
in
a
airplane
whole
mode.
will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just concerned now because we need this new corner to come in and actually play and get some snaps and practice and learn the system.
I'm like at a 7 or 8 as concerned. A bad cornerback can really tank your whole freaking season.
That's why you got 11 guys on the field. You got a scheme. You have coaching every week. Not that you're hiding a guy, but there's things you can do to double team, shade the zone. What are you looking at, Texans?
No, I'm looking up like all the wide receiver duos. So Jamar, T. Higgins, AJ, Devontae, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, Mike Evans, Chris Godwins, Puka, Devontae, CD, George Pickens, and those.
We play those teams, by the way.
We do. I guarantee you we're gonna get way more, dude. Maybe not. They're just going to tell me. Oh, yeah, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, CD Lamb, George Pickens, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuel. Yeah. Rashid Rice and Worthy, they're all right. Drake London, Mooney. This point being is, like, I hear you, but there's definitely a lot of good duo wide receivers this year for
as a whole should be okay.
We hope so, yeah.
A big problem.
Yeah.
I think the pass rush is equally as concerning. We lost a lot of sacks
I have
Milton and Sweat.
I have so much more confidence in our pass rush, like big time. Like way more confidence in our pass rush than I do in anything else. There's a lot of like reports saying like our D tackles, like we were saying earlier, Lane Johnson was calling Ajomo, was calling freaking why is his name escaping me?
Jalix
Hunt. Jalix Hunt was a beast. We've been getting a lot of reports that Nolan Smith is kind of business as usual. Like,
about the rookie?
Like he still keeps pushing up. The rookie
Campbell.
Ty Robinson got a sack in the preseason game. He also had a really good screen read that stopped the play from materializing, which is even better than getting a sack because you know this guy has his head in the game, and you would expect that from a 26-year-old defensive tackle. That's actual true experience there. He has a lot more. I don't know if he's 26, but I think he might be. That comes from a lot more experience and like discipline as a player. So I really like what we got going on up front. I really do. And I think Campbell, all reports saying from these joint practices, there's a lot of holding going around Campbell's way. He's really making himself be felt in the room. His presence, his energy, even watching the preseason game, he was around the ball almost every defensive snap that he was on there. I like what I'm hearing. I think our front seven, we're pretty good. Zach Bond is practicing again, so he's coming back to practice. So I like that. I like that a lot.
I think this defense is going to be still top 10. I don't know if we're going to be number 1 again, but we're certainly going to be up there.
Yo, we're sorry, yo. We're jumping around like crazy everywhere today. But I don't honestly care. Do you?
It's our show. We do what we want.
I know. I
dude.
just realized,
do
bro,
what we want.
we're talking about this. We haven't even finished talking about the preseason game. Whatever. People played really well. Darius Cooper was the number one highlight for me. You?
6 passes, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Biggest surprise of the night, if you ask me. But also, Johnny Wilson. with
Yeah.
a huge snag. Just basically jumping over somebody, mossing them. 3 for 70 plus. Could
Yeah.
he find his way onto the field this season?
Yeah,
more often?
congratulations. Congratulations to Johnny Wilson because it's very, like, this is what they were expecting from you. I know it's just preseason, but from all accounts and what everybody's saying, he's carried that big dick swagger into practice, into these joint practices, and it sounds a lot. And you hear Jalen Hurts talking about it. Johnny Wilson has found his confidence, and he almost looks like a whole new player out there after preseason week 1. Another reason why preseason is important. And then let's not bury the lead, right? That we've already buried. Let's unbury it a little bit.
45 minutes into the pod, we haven't talked about Tanner McKee.
Tanner, I need me some Tanner McKee. 20 for 25, 252 yards and a touchdown. Also,
Wait a minute. 2 touchdowns and a touch push.
and a tush push. So 3 total touchdowns. I will say, biggest overreaction I've heard in a while is that Tanner McKee is the next Messiah. Biggest overreaction. Your opinion there. Is he the next coming?
Well, let's just turn it into a question, Dons.
Uh-huh.
What would you need in return to trade Tanner McKee?
A starter that's going to help me this year.
Oh, so you're going to play. I was thinking draft pick, but that's not bad.
Yeah.
For a starter, you're talking a starter.
A starter that's going to help us this year.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a significant piece
Yeah.
then.
A significant, probably defensive player. That's what I
you-
would need.
Would you accept a second-round pick for him?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
1,000% I would. Here's my thing, and I know this is the dumbest. I actually have a question for you. This is the dumbest question.
No, it's not dumb.
Okay. It's almost like a would you rather. And I know, let's just take obviously, I'll take the Super Bowl. Obviously, I'll take the Super Bowl answer out of the equation. Can we do that? Can you promise me that?
No Super Bowl. What are we talking about?
All right. So, say we just signed Jalen Hurts to this major contract.
Okay.
We now have Tanner McKee. Everybody wants to keep Tanner McKee because of the injuries. Jalen Hurts gets injured. Tanner McKee goes in, leads us into the playoffs, plays great, plays amazing. Turns out Jalen Hurts is more injured than we thought, and he has to be here longer. Tanner McKee goes and either wins the Super Bowl or gets us close, and maybe the defense loses it at the end, right? Defense loses it at the end or something stupid like that. Say we win the bowl, Jalen Hurts is injured. Now we have to pay Tanner McKee to stay. And there's no way in hell we would be able to match anything that you would get compared to any other team in the league that's going to want him, right? Because he just won a Super Bowl. So now you have a backup quarterback that you can't keep, and Jalen Hurts is going to be injured. And now what are we left with?
Okay, so number one, he's in a rookie contract, so we've got him for
1 year, one more year
Okay, so
this year. And then he's playing on his last year of the contract, right?
Yeah, well, I think
Actually, no, I think he's free after this year, isn't he?
you're trying to Carson Wentz and Nick Foles me all over again, aren't you?
But this is the situation that we're talking about. We just paid, just like Wentz, we just played Jalen. If Tanner goes in and plays well, we're not going to be able to keep him anyways. We'll lose him that season.
Howie?
Yeah. Yeah, no, obviously. But, like, that's what people are looking for, though. People are like, I don't want to trade Tanner McKee because I want to win a Super Bowl this year. That's what people are looking for. All I'm saying is I don't even know if this was a real question. Be careful what you wish for, bro, because that would be a disaster for our organization, and it would divide the fans beyond belief of Tanner versus Jalen's already a conversation in some bozo's mind right now.
Well, that's really elaborate, Don's.
Yeah, I know it's a lot.
That's part of the reason why we should hold on to him, because you need
Yeah.
a good backup quarterback. I mean, we did see that with the Eagles firsthand,
Yeah.
2017. Big Dick Nick Foles. beats Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Malcolm Butler, pregame, tears running down his face. Why didn't he play? Does anybody know? Will we ever know? Who knows?
No one knows. Well, I'd rather keep him. And honestly, there's nothing wrong in this world being a number 2 quarterback in an NFL team. And he's the type of guy, and this is my argument for keeping him as well. Like, I don't want Drew Lock. I don't want, like, I guess Sam Darnold, yeah, but he's a starter. I don't want that caliber quarterback coming into my team. I don't want Kenny Pickett. I don't want Gardner Minshew. These guys have already proven, and Pickett still has a hope for himself to be a good quarterback. But you know, talking about those journeyman quarterbacks that, like, all they do is lose. Like, you lose. Mm-hmm. You run a great practice squad, but you're not the guy. Like, I get it. You're still very talented. You're great. But you're a loser. Tanner McKee, we don't know if he's a loser. And every time I see him play, he looks like a winner. So I'd rather keep him, but I would trade his ass tomorrow for a bag of graham crackers and a second-round pick.
Damn, Don. No, I guess you're right. I think it's more valuable to hold on to him. Although,
yes.
What about the rookie, Kyle McCord? Is that his name?
I hear he's playing like ass.
Or DTR. I don't know who's gonna win that battle.
Dorian Thompson, whatever the hell. I am Robinson. Out the door. I never even opened the door. From the second you told me that they traded for him, I know you were all about it, but I was saying, dude, I do not like this kid. He is not our quarterback. He is not somebody that can, like, or maybe he's not yet, right? To me, not yet. He's not somebody that can lead a team. He's just not. I've seen the way he plays. He tries his ass off. I just don't think he's talented enough.
The main reason I like
as an NFL quarterback.
The main reason I liked him was basically because he was on my dynasty football team, and I'm like, oh yes, now he's an Eagle. He's mobile. Mm-hmm. You know, he's a good backup. Maybe he can learn the.
He's not a good backup.
I think in his regular season starts, he has 1 touchdown and 10+ interceptions. So that says enough, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty terrible. He's pretty bad. He is pretty bad, but it is an overreaction that Tanner McKee is like the next coming of Brett Favre. But what's not an overreaction is that he has proven himself to be a good quarterback. He threw some amazing balls. He delivered on time. 1, 2, 3, bam, balls out. He threw with anticipation. He threw his receivers open. He found the soft spots in the zones. He threw dangerous balls. Should have had a pick. Should have had almost 2 turnovers, but didn't. So whatever. It doesn't matter. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. He didn't. Tanner McKee, I think, is a certified baller. You?
Certified.
Are we certifying Tanner McKee right now here today? We are knighting him certified baller.
Put the stamp of approval.
Certified baller. Tanner McKee.
Dude can ball.
Yeah, the dude can ball.
Let's hope we never have to see him in the regular season.
Yeah, facts. All right. Whatever with the preseason. The game was fun. It's over. Let's move on to something a little bit more important here. And it's not necessarily game day related, but the Eagles have announced that they have added 2 new Hall of Famers to the Philadelphia Eagles organization, and they're 2 very well-deserved spots. And I will not sit here and gaslight you and make you think that I knew who Buckle Kilroy was. I didn't. We're not from Philly, so we're not born with that generational knowledge or anything like that. But Malcolm Jenkins and Buckle Kilroy, congratulations on getting inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. Both NFL champions. Buckle Kilroy, for those that didn't know, was part of the team in 1948 that won the NFL championship game. Game ended up being 7-0. Kilroy had 2 key plays where, one, he recovered a fumble, which I don't know if it led up to the last drive, but ended up also, he played on offense. This was back in the day. He was the one and he opened up a ginormous hole for Steve Van Buren to run it in for 6, making your Philadelphia Eagles in 1948 NFL champions. And obviously Malcolm Jenkins, Super Bowl 52, Super Bowl winner, laying out Brandon Cooks. Well-deserved. So, Chris, Malcolm Jenkins got inducted to the Hall of Fame. How do you view him as a player, and how do you view him, or where do you put him as an Eagles great?
absolute stud at the Ohio State University. Always respected him as a player. Hard hitting, great range, had decent hands for a safety. But the first thing that comes to mind is that hit on Brandon Cooks. Man, I could feel that. It almost reminds me of the Lito Shepherd, Reggie Bush, where he's literally crawling off the field. But
I have to correct you.
what?
Sheldon Brown.
Sheldon Brown.
Yep.
What did I say?
Lito.
Oh, Sheldon Brown. Sorry. Oh,
Listen,
Lito.
it's
He was so
not me,
underrated.
bro. I don't want them coming after you.
One of my favorites. Oh, that's fine. You're right. Hey, we all make mistakes. Anyway,
I'm pregnant. You're a baby.
I think
Remember what I told you about Texas?
what?
Never mind. Anyway.
Yes, I'm happy about Malcolm Jenkins. Well deserved. Big hit. Big Super Bowl winner. Made plays when we needed him to. Was also a great locker room guy. Did a lot for people
Culture
off
setter.
the field. What?
Culture setter.
Yep. Did a lot for people off the field, charity wise. So overall, great guy. Congratulations to Malcolm.
Yeah, I think Malcolm is easily like top 3 safeties all time for the Eagles. And honestly, I'm having a hard time not putting him number 2. Maybe I'm just not educated enough. Who was it? Eric Allen, I believe. Was he a safety for the Eagles? See, this is where we falter being Rhode Islanders. But I know that we had another legendary player. I just want to make sure I say his name right.
Well, we know who number 1 is.
So it says he was a cornerback. So actually not a safety. So I technically am
He
right.
was a corner.
But I mean, this is just a quick synopsis. I don't know if he always played. But yeah, Eric Allen was also Eagles great. I don't know if you remember him or not.
Yes.
But Malcolm, class act, played hard. For me, my memory of Malcolm Jenkins outside of the Cooks, a big thing is his pick 6 on Tom Brady. Remember that?
Yes. Yes, I'm just looking up
Yeah, what a
Eagles
great
greats
play.
at safety. And apparently they have a man named Bill Bradley at number
Billiard Bradley balls.
2. He only
Ballin'
played
Bill
5
Bradley.
years. Donzie played 5 years from 1969 to 1974. First player in NFL history to lead the league in interceptions in consecutive seasons.
Damn, that's crazy.
11 and then 9 in 1972.
Yeah.
So
I
your
get
boy
giving
Bill
them the lure of just dominating the league. Look at that, Malcolm Jenkins, number 3. So I wasn't so far off.
Right downs. Let's see. Wes Hopkins, Randy Logan.
Yeah, Eric Allen was a corner.
Quentin Michael.
No, dude, get him, send them home, dude.
Michael Lewis.
Michael Lewis, super average,
David Moore. Okay, well, anyway.
bro. CJGJ better be up there. He is
boy's a
way
champ.
better than those guys.
Oh, by the way, his knee is not so bad. He's
I-
not going to be out the whole season, so I'm thankful.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, he's going to be able to maybe come back, if not week 1, then
Oh,
like
that's
week
cool.
3, 4. So
Good
glad
for
he's
him.
okay.
So, also, like I said, congratulations, Bucko Kilroy. Do you care to watch? Do you care to watch the play?
To watch what?
The Bucko Kilroy famous play?
If you want me to throw it on,
He's
yeah.
like, no.
Let's do it.
No, I don't need you to look it up.
Okay, lad.
I don't need you to look it up, Fiona.
Okay, lad.
I'm already prepared. Look at this, mate. Look at him go. Da, 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 da. This is him, number 76. He's right here on the right side. He's coming up.
Chris Farley.
He looks like the hold the door motherfucker from Game of Thrones. Look at him right there. Look at him open up that hole for Steve Van Buren.
Nice.
Touchdown, Eagles.
I like that logo, too. Old
Yeah, that
school
logo
Eagles
is dope. So, congratulations on the Hall of Famer. If you're ready to move on to the next subject.
Ready as I'll ever be, Downs.
All right, dude. I keep hitting my head. I got to figure this out. Anyway.
It's fine.
I was so funny. I'm really not. Anyways, AJ Brown
Yep.
goes on Pardon My Take. Barstool Sports,
Always a good quote from AJ.
another podcast. Let me let you run with this.
Hey, so
I watched it. I promise. I watched it.
Don, it's okay. Even if you didn't, no big deal. So the biggest thing that I took away from it, and part of why I wanted to talk about it and bring this up, Dons,
Yeah.
AJ Brown talks about when he was in high school, he was deciding which college to go to. His father made a joke about you're going to Alabama. He said he's not going to Alabama. And then he made a joke about, hey, if Nick Saban shows up, maybe I'll consider going to Alabama. Meaning, if Saban comes to one of my games to recruit me, like, all right, maybe I will. And within the next couple of weeks, believe it or not, Nick Saban was at one of his games recruiting him. Long story short, he did not go to Alabama. He ended up going to Ole Miss. And the point of this is he actually said, Dons, he received numerous death threats just about going to a certain school.
People are crazy.
Can you imagine, number one, getting death threats? And number two, how do you handle that? Do you walk around differently? Apparently his father was very affected by it. He said he wasn't affected by it very much, but I have a hard time believing it doesn't affect you on some level or get in your head at all. I mean, obviously he was a young, confident guy. He still is, but death threats over which college he's going to, Dons? Are you effing kidding me?
Of course, dude. People write death threats to people all the time. I'm actually surprised people don't get in trouble for death threats. I think that's one of the most messed up things that you can do for someone is to be like, I'm gonna go unalive you right now or tomorrow or whatever. That's like trash people behavior. But yeah, I believe it, bro. He's just used to all the noise and everybody talking about him, so he knows people are gonna talk badly about him. Sure, his parents kept him like insulated. He knows that people are just trolls, so I believe him as far as him saying he's not like that worried about it, and seems like he's not a bad dude, so it wouldn't seem like there would be some like bad eggs in his social circle that can make something like that happen. I don't know enough, but that's my assumption when I look at AJ Brown. They kind of had like a good circle around him. I would be freaking out though. I would be freaking out for sure. It sucks. It sucks that people are that shitty, but I thought it was cool that his dad's been in his life, like helping him out and, always being that support system for him.
We all need it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool when AJ was talking about how he played baseball and he ended up taking the signing bonus for the Padres to go to training camp. And then it was so funny because he was like, Dominicans. And I know what he meant. I know he was just so funny. He was like, I was just around so many Dominicans, so I had to get out of there. But what he meant is, obviously, he didn't speak their language, so he couldn't communicate with the people he was around. So that's boring. That sucks. I get it. He probably did the baseball thing because baseball, you make way more money than in the NFL. So I get why you'd want to try it, but he said he fell in love with football. I think a big part of him not going to certain schools was because the black on black socks.
Unbelievable.
Black shoes, black socks. I get it. And then it's funny because I've been doing this for my whole life, saying that my shoes are fast. And in part of my take, they kept talking about how fast his green shoes are and that AJ makes up his own rules and own colors and he could wear the green shoes again.
Dude is one of a kind.
Yeah,
he always talks about
that was awesome.
One of the best, and he is in the argument this year, Dons.
I do like how AJ always seems to have Coach Sirianni's back. Mm-hmm. He dropped that little nug in there saying like, and I synopsis this, but he was like, he was saying that Nick Sirianni, that practice isn't getting any easier, and he was joking around with Coach Sirianni saying that they might not have enough people for the start of the regular season because camp has been so difficult, which kind of goes against everything everybody has always said about Nick Sirianni, saying that his camp is pretty easy and he's too easy on the players. Wow. But whatever, we won a Super Bowl, so screw you.
Wow.
What?
When you win a Super Bowl, I think Sirianni's thought is like, wait a minute, just because we won, we're not taking our foot off the gas. We're going harder.
Yeah,
we're going to work harder this offseason than we did last offseason. We're not taking our foot off the gas.
But AJ always seems to have his coaches back though by always adding some sort of like favorable image comment towards Nick, and I think that's really cool because not everybody does that.
He also knows that the Eagles fans and people around the country get on Nick Sirianni. They asked him. They said, well, we asked Lane, we asked Landon, we asked other guys, asked Saquon, what week do you think Nick Sirianni will be on the hot seat? And AJ's response, I think, was spot on. He said, basically in less words or in more words maybe, if we lose week 1 to the Cowboys, people are going to be calling for his head. Like, that's just the way it is. So I'm happy that
if we somehow lose the first game of the season, it'll be up for Nick Sirianni, I think is the exact quote.
Yep. Apparently
that's so funny.
The Eagles, more than other teams, are very, very aware of what's being said about them in the media. So it's very clear that AJ gave a good example of that. As much as you want your players to stick their head in the sand and not be on Twitter, not pay attention to the TVs, there's a famous screenshot of Jalen Hurts walking by a TV screen. One of the football shows is on, and every single person on the show picked the Chiefs, and you can see Hurts have a little reaction like, okay.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened there. So.
Because we're beasts.
Anyway.
A couple other comments about that, unless you want to go into something. AJ Brown works for a foundation, helps kids with reading, getting books, having access to stuff. Thought that was pretty cool. Not digging too deep into that, but it seems like he's continuing to add in his foundation and make that better. Great to have another side goal there. Apparently, AJ Brown is writing a book. They obviously talk about inner excellence and how it felt cool to change that guy's life around because of all his sales, which is also amazing. AJ Brown, please promote me. I have an OnlyFans. It's only 30 cents a day. Just kidding. But I thought that was cool. Talk about inner excellence. And then the last thing that I would want to bring up is they asked him what grit means to him. And to me, I thought he said pushing yourself beyond your expectations, beyond other people's expectations, and then overcoming and persevering all of the bad things that happen to you to continue to shine and strive and thrive. He brings up draining his knee 2 times a week during the playoffs, making sure he's getting right, and how somehow he still feels like he performs at the top-notch performance for himself, his peak, when he is facing those challenges. That I thought was pretty cool. Sometimes I think a lot of these answers are super cheesy. And I get it. You're also catering to a younger fan base. You're also trying to put out a positive, inspirational type thing out there, make a nice clip, stuff like that. So I get why it can be cheesy, but it's also very refreshing to hear a man like him talking about striving, thriving without, not to be whatever the hell I'm being, but when AJ Brown speaks, AJ Brown sounds like a man, sounds like the type of man that I want to be and continue to be or try to strive to become. Sounds like a man that young people should look up to. He sounds like the type of person that has his head on straight. Not that slang is the worst thing in the world. Not that, liking flashy and cool lifestyle chasing is wrong or anything like that. But AJ Brown to me seems like the type of man that I would want my kid to look up to.
Like it, Towns. I'm gonna make a more football point, so I'm sorry to be so shallow. But
no, it's all good, dude. I don't know where that came from.
I was more shocked that he talked about getting his knee drained twice, and he had a great game in the NFC Championship against Washington. But the fact that he had to get it drained before the Super Bowl, I mean, I didn't know that he was injured.
I did. There was reports out saying that his knee was bugging. I was kind of freaking out about it. I mean, that's really all I got on part of my take. AJ Brown edition.
There was no actual report on him having a knee injury. They may have been whispered, but there was no report injury. You know what I mean?
I thought there was. I'll look it up. Well, next time we record, I'll let you know if I find anything. But I was pretty confident. I heard that AJ Brown hurt his knee before the playoffs, and that they were working on it, and he didn't practice. He also didn't practice a lot during the playoffs because of it.
That he was getting it trained. Oof.
Yeah.
Still balled out.
Yeah. So, cool episode of Part of My Take.
Very cool.
When you first sent it to me, I was like, yo, there's no way these guys got AJ Brown for 2 hours straight. I was like, there's no way. Thank God, dude. Thank God I wasn't with it. Now,
you know what time it is.
Yeah, let's get into that. You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
It's this Just In With Don's moment. But I need your help. I have some options of things to talk about, right? So we have 3 themes here. We have stupid, we have mean, and we have, I guess, annoying. Which one are we going with here?
Well, I chose option 1 before the pod, so...
All right, fine.
I choose option 1.
All right, so this is something that I've been saying for a while. And listen, I need you guys to go on a quick adventure with me because in this week, this is in with Don's. I need to tell you something very important. And I always get pushback with this and whatever, I don't care. But to me, everything outside of what is organic in this world, like physical beings, vegetation, animals, and stuff like that, is outside of, let's say, God's creation or science's creation of human beings and shit like that. Anyways, not to go too deep into it because I ain't that person. To me, I think time machines are real, and I think they're in front of your face every single day. I think that cars are time machines, and just hear me out. You say you needed 6 hours to walk to a different location, right? Say you're at your house, you need to go get water, and it's a 6-hour walk. You were put on this planet to do a 6-hour walk. You can get a horse and cut that time to 3 hours, 4 hours, or something like that. But what mankind has created was a machine that can buy back your time. A machine that if you get into, you can get to that 6-hour walk in 15 minutes, which therefore is saying a car is a time machine because you're cheating time to get to the location faster than it was ever intended to. Do you know what I'm saying?
When you say it like that, you're making sense.
So I think that cars are time machines. We just don't look at it like that because it's already explained science to us. And if you think about it, how do you measure speed here in the States, of course? Miles per hour. Miles per hour. So you're bending time in order to measure time.
Now,
so what?
Couldn't a bike be one too? A bike?
Yeah, a bike is a time machine. Right? Yeah, technically. And this is what my girl said. And that means like, because she's like, you're an idiot. You're dumb. This makes no sense. Don't validate you. And she's like, if by your theory, then technically a blender's a time machine. Why? Because it cuts up your food faster than you like grind and crush it and blend it. And I'm like, you know what? Blenders are time machines. So this is it with Don's. Cars are time machines. Blenders are time machines. We just think it's some spooky science. We just know the terminology for it. So this is in with Don's. Cars are time machines.
The best one you've ever done.
That's it. Yeah, you say that every week.
That's a good way to end the pod, honestly.
You're done with it?
I think that's how you end the pod, honestly.
That's fine. That's fine. I do want to say one thing before we end the pod. 2 things, actually, if you're cool with it.
Talk to me.
So this Saturday, obviously, we're playing the Browns in the preseason game.
Yeah, Browns.
I can't care about anything on this entire planet about the Cleveland Browns at all. The only thing that is interesting is Shedeur Sanders. You're a fool if you don't make a move and keep this kid around and try to make him your starter. He's going to bring you money. Everybody knows Myles Garrett is great, but he's just a defensive end, dude. He can't bring it all on his own. If you're not using Shedeur Sanders, then organizationally, you got to wonder what the hell's going on. And lastly, Andrew Makuba to close out team drills ended with the end zone interception against the Browns. So I just wanted you to know that because Makuba's your boy.
That's my boy.
I didn't know if you knew that. And apparently,
he's back on the field.
Can I tell you more? Can we not end it? Can I just tell you a little bit more?
Tell me more.
All right. So Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship have been playing great defensively against the run. Sidney Brown ended up playing through the whistle and causing a fumble, making great plays out there. Dory Jackson got the majority of the first team reps during the second session. Jahad Campbell, like I said earlier, was making himself known on the field. And then Nolan Smith had a sack, and Jalen had consistent pressure today and yesterday during practice. So things have been getting a lot better. What I hope to see for preseason game 2 is everybody stay healthy. Another strong game from Tanner. Hopefully Darius Cooper can build on what he had. And the tackling must be better. Not necessarily just the tackle, but the angles. But that's it. So that wraps up the episode, right?
This Just In with Don's is still sitting with me. I fucking love it, Don's. Really.
Do you?
That was awesome.
Well, thanks for listening. Guys, don't forget to like, share, follow. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Write us an email. I got to check the email, but write us an email, 1day32@gmail.com. This is your boy, Dons, signing out. KP. Bye-bye.